Winner for Best Notary in Fayette County. They're here for you with extended hours to fit your schedule. Sandy Howell's also the 2025 Gold Medal winner for Best Title Company. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 8:30, and Saturdays, 9 to 5. Call 724-564-8955 today for Sandy Howell Notary Services, where excellence is signed and sealed. This 2026 Winter Olympics update was brought to you by Sandy Howell Notary Service, owned by Ed and Sandy Walensky. For gold medal notary service you can count on, go to Sandy Howell Notary Services, 158 Dry Knob Road in Smithfield.
Look and you'll see there's a whole new Ford for you and me. It's time.
February is Auto Show time at Thurby's Riverside Ford. That means special financing and Auto Show bonus cash on new Ford SUVs and trucks. Have you been thinking about a new 2025 Ford F-150 four-wheel drive XLT? Take advantage of 3.9% for 72 months plus $2,000 in Auto Show bonus cash during the Auto Show month. Now that's an Auto Show deal.
How about this? All new 2026 Ford Escapes come with $2,500 in Ford factory rebates. And the showstopper, the 2025 Bronco Sport Big Bend and Outer Banks with 2.9% financing and $2,000 in Ford factory rebates during Auto Show month. We have the inventory in stock and on the way.
Thurby's Riverside Ford, your presidential award-winning dealer, located on Route 40, 1 mile past the casino at Nemacolin. See Joey, Jimmy, Sammy, or Ashley. Offer ends March 2nd, 2026.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of John Marietta and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Fayette County Recorder of Deeds Office or Fayette County government. This program is privately produced and funded, and no county resources are used for its production or promotion.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I was trucking up the highway, minding my own lane, with some dude in a Prius went and flipped me off. Guess my redneck hit him wrong. Seems like everyone these days is a ticking time bomb full of hate for folks like me who don't agree and ain't ever gonna change. And it gets me thinking,
Hey everybody, John Marietta, and I am the Hillbilly, and it's another Trump-tastic day in Fayette County. Today's show is being brought to you by Burhans Krause Funeral Home, Thundering Hills Feed and Supply, Fayette County Recovery Storage, and U-Haul. You know them, they're the IDF of Fayette County. Laser Brothers, Highline Motorsports, Humbert Sanitation and Septic Company, Fayette's Structures, County Country Motor Sales, Premier Auto Glass, Fayette County MAGA Patriots Group, HBJ Radio, Mauser's Garage and Tire Center. And you know what? Mauser's is one of the hidden diamonds here in Fayette County. If you need tires, go see Mauser. He'll take care of you. He'll keep you going. They're like a NASCAR pit crew out there. Solid Foundation Ministries, The Ink Spot in South Connersville, HBJ LLC, Mung's Auto Body and Repair. And that's it for today. Well, I really appreciate everybody tuning in, and the weather is. I got Butch with me again, and I call him Butch just because, but his first name is actually Alan, but I think it's a good thing because. You know what? You relate right to the people, and and you're the guy. I always tell everybody, I don't want to be a stuck-up politician. I want to be the guy at the water cooler that helps put the next bottle in if it needs to be done. So, let's get started. For sure. I'll tell you what, folks. Drive past the food bank any day of the week, right here in Fayette County, whatever day it is, and you'll see the truth for yourself. Proud, hardworking Fayette County men, women standing in line for food when they ought to be standing in line for a paycheck. We're losing our college. Yep, we're losing Penn State. Our factories have gone quiet, and our young people are driving off because there's no hope right here at home. That's not us. That's on the failed leadership. You've got Scott, shop till you drop done. Vince, a name you know and trust to raise your taxes. And you got old bloated budget Pat, who only seems to remember us when it's election season. They've raised your taxes nearly 80%. Schools are still closing, and by the way, there's rumors that we're going to have even more schools close. And roads are still crumbling. Then they turn around and brag about getting us grant money for their pet projects, as if they're bringing home a gift. Well, let's tell you the truth. Grant money is still your money. It was taken from you somewhere along the way. It's taxes taken from your pocket, shipped off to Harrisburg or Washington, and then handed back to us with a political grin. That's not generosity. That's manipulation. Or better yet, maybe we ought to call it bribery, is a better way to explain it. And they say we're the problem for calling it out. Well, I'll wear that badge of honor, because sometimes, friends, trouble is the only thing that shakes a sleepy county awake, or maybe a sleepy Senate district awake. Proverbs 29:2 says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked rule, the people mourn. And our county has been mourning long enough. Both our county, Somerset County, Bedford County, Washington County, and Greene County. I'm not out for a reckoning. I'm not out for revenge, rather. I'm out for a reckoning. Not just changing a few commissioners, but changing the whole culture of corruption. From the courthouse to the Capitol. This isn't about right or left. It's about right or wrong. It's about good versus evil. We need leaders who remember that every dollar they spend comes out of the hands of folks who are working for a living. As Charlie Kirk says, this country doesn't need spectators. It needs participants. Fayette County doesn't need more excuses. It needs engagement. It's time to take back our destiny, to lower taxes. How about that? Wouldn't that be a good thing? Can we lower taxes? Can we work on that?
Maybe we'll get some people here.
Yeah. Maybe some people will stay here instead of building bike paths to get them out of here. Grow businesses. Keep our kids right here at home and make energy. Yes, energy, and manufacture the twin engines of prosperity again. When we build here, drill here, and forge here, we don't just create jobs, we create pride, we create independence, and yes, we create freedom. James chapter 2:17 tells us, faith without works is dead. So let's get to work, Fayette County. Let's get to work, Greene County. Let's get to work, Washington County. Let's show Harrisburg that faith and grit can still move mountains. I am John Marietta, the Hillbilly, and this is the Hillbilly Jon radio show. We're not backing down, we're not slowing up, and we sure not buying what they're selling us, because here, faith and freedom still means something, and we're just getting started. Al, I tell you what, I didn't know how I was going to open this today, but then you called me last night when and I know you had a procedure done on your eyes, and I really appreciate you still coming in, because it's a good thing. You've been through this lots. I know you have. I mean, yeah, you ran how many businesses now?
A lot. 3 of my own, and I don't know, numerous other ones.
Yeah, and you started them from the ground up.
Yeah.
And what the most satisfying thing is when you have a business at the end of the year, if you have $1 left.
Yeah.
If you have $1 left.
Your goal is to pay the bills.
Yep.
That's your goal.
And employ people.
Yep. To pay the bills. What you really want to do is generate enough revenue to where you can increase your size, the growth of the business, the growth of the businesses, the growth of the employees, is people staying around, building population. Unfortunately, these people don't know that. They have no clue how to do that, because most of the people that are in office, let's be honest, mostly lawyers and, you name it, they're not really business people. Few and far between. And they've never had to really sign the front of a check. A lot of it's signing the back of a check. They don't know what goes into payroll burden tax, which ours is through the roof, and corporate tax, and the insurances in this state are out of sight. Just take, for instance, IFTA, our tractor trailers here, we pay more for the gas tax here than we do in West Virginia, because you have to keep 2 books when you transfer across state lines. So, I mean, if I'm a trucking company, where am I going to set shop up? Not here.
I often think about it. My brother drove truck for years. He drove over the road, and I would help him. Not just him, but I did it for a lot. I hot shotted a lot of. We extradited freight.
Sure.
That was the easiest way to put it. And I got to meet several different people, and it was a great time. And right now, my wife tells me, that for the last few years I haven't got to go to Florida to watch the races. So, but there's a race being planned that I'm going to anyways. But one of the things that I think about when we drove, we would drive 16, 18 hours out every day.
Right.
I don't think they'd let me get away with that right now.
No.
But we did. We did, because when the wheels was turning, you were making money.
Yeah.
And I know I was out west one time, and my dad called me, and I was far out west. I was like in New Mexico, and he told me, he says, "Where are you at?" And I told him, I said, "I'm on the west side of Albuquerque." Or I forget, I was on I-10 somewhere out. So, and anyways, he says, "What kind of time you making?" And I said, "It's 55 miles an hour." And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I'm running into a headwind right now, and no matter how hard I can drop down 2 gears and get some more, but then I'm going to burn up. Then I'm going to burn an engine up." So you just kept it in high gear and kept it flat on the floor and tried to keep doing what you was doing. But
it's tough. There's the regulations. There's too much regulations. When I started this campaign, 6-7 months ago, whatever it was, my main thing was to bring a lot of this to light to people. The common people, they don't know how this is all being run. They don't understand.
They don't.
The whole procedure behind all these regulations and the influx in taxes and just these bad budgets that are, they're never balanced. They really aren't. And, what they're going through now with trying to balance a budget. And they'll cave in. They do. They did it the last time. My opponent did. A bunch of the other ones did. They caved into something that they should have never done. It's not responsible. And sometimes you have to fight. You got to fight. And when your revenue stream is only 46 to 48 billion, it's no good. It's going to come back on us.
It's 46. Your revenue stream is right now at the state level is right at 45 or 40, like you say, 46.8 billion dollars.
Yeah,
that's if everybody pays their taxes.
Yes,
and that don't happen.
No.
So you're still guessing at it.
Yeah.
So so now you're looking at, and the budget is $54 billion.
It's the budget that they passed, the late one, was 50.3. This budget here is going to be 53.26. So you're going to deplete all your rainy day fund. You're going to deplete your general fund's going to be. It's going to be upside down. There's no way around it. So how do we get out of that? Raise taxes, raise gas taxes, raise your fuels. I mean, it's all the way down the line. They're going to be raising taxes. You're going to see another raise in the turnpike. Guaranteed you will. And obviously, one thing and we'll segue into that, is this death tax. They got almost $2 billion last year off of people's hardship. People that had farms. This really hurts. We're predominantly a farmer state.
Our district is, yes.
Our agriculture. I mean, and you figure how many of these farmhouses have been in these families for years and decades, centuries even. And these are the people, and I know people for a fact, that just got farms through a death, and they had to pay $47,000 in tax. They had to go borrow the money. So that's not right. It's not right at all. And I'm sure there's ways we can eliminate that. I want to eliminate it. That needs to go. There's only a few states that have that. And, and there's been some naysayers on Facebook, and I try to stay off of it because it's just not really me. And, well, you just pick things out. No, I am a systematic person. I am a strategic planner. I look at things and I'll do a logical deduction of where this money's going, where it needs to be going, or if it needs to be eliminated. And most people can't see that. They say, well, he just pulls this out of the sky. No, I don't. I research all day, all night. I only sleep probably 3-4 hours a day. That's it. And the rest of it goes into research.
Well, I guess I've always been that way. As far as sleep, you know, where nobody bothers me. It's 4 or 5 hours a day.
Yeah.
But and because you're up, you're walking around, you're looking at. I've always been that way my whole life. My dad used to, when I was a kid, it'd be 2:00 in the morning, and I'd be listening to the radio show from St. Louis, Missouri, on AM radio, or wherever I could wherever I could listen to a radio show. But you think about it. But if you're not keeping up with it, and that was the social media of our time, and that's like you with you say about the Facebook. We got to embrace all this technology in order to move forward in our society.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I will tell you, I understand that artificial intelligence has to play a role of us going forward.
Sure.
There's no doubt about it, but the data centers, I believe that if they put a data center in, they should have to make their own power. They should be bringing their own power or adding power to the power grid themselves.
Right.
Taking care of the water themselves and their own sewage. And I really believe that that's the way it should be, because for the taxpayers, and that's what it rolls back on the backs of the taxpayers, that if some of this data processing stuff.
Right.
And so we have to watch what we do here, because while it looks good on paper, you're still only employ, and to build the thing is a big deal. But once it's built,
it's done.
It needs one maintenance man or two maintenance people, and you need some IT people to take care of it. And that isn't really making jobs.
No.
In our region right now, and when I say the whole southwestern Pennsylvania, we need manufacturing. We should be making steel. We should be making and people.
What do you need to make steel?
You need coal.
Coal.
And you need coal makes coke.
Yep.
And coke makes steel. So, and there's no reason why we shouldn't be making. We make coke.
Our coal industry should be booming.
We make coke for the world here. And we're not using it right here.
No.
We're not using it here. We should be building railroads.
They're not utilizing the infrastructure that we have and upgrading it. They're not. They're worried about the things that are really not going to produce any positive results as far as infrastructure, as far as cutting the taxes. I strongly believe that most of these people that are in office, they just don't know what fiscally sound means. They really don't. Because to pass that $50 billion budget,
$53 billion.
No, the one that just passed.
That was 50.
Yeah, that showed me right there that they have a real issue with numbers. They just don't know numbers, and they don't know how to divert things. I mean, listen, we could go through there and cut so much stuff, and nobody would ever miss it. They wouldn't. There's just so much fat.
We could get rid of the $200 hammers.
We could get rid of
and the $500 toilet seats.
We could get rid of a lot of things.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I mean, let's be serious about it. I mean, I got a phone call from somebody, and it was about the turnpike, about it was about the toilets in the turnpike and how whoever designed them. It is the craziest thing. I mean, somebody spent all this money to develop these toilets because they wanted to try to save water. I get we need to save water, but I mean, yeah.
Well, as we touched base on that last bill that was they're trying to push through, that's a horrible bill. That was something that Trump. And this is what I don't get, Trump has all these great ideas. He's not a politician. He's a business guy too. And they kind of push back at him about it. But once he gets it going, they actually see the results. And it's results that they've never seen before because they don't have the intellect to produce that type of atmosphere as far as what he's doing.
I I always equate it to playing chess. A good chess player, and believe me, I can play chess, but I'm not the greatest. But I mean, I can play chess.
I like chess.
But you got to be anticipating moves 3 and 4 down from where you just moved.
Yeah.
And that's how you have to play. And that's how you play chess. And that's what Trump's doing. I mean, you realize what he did with Greenland and like I said, it made so much sense. It makes terrific sense.
Yeah.
And then now,
but when you first hear it, you're like, what is he? You know what I mean? But then you start thinking, and you're going through everything. And you're like, okay, this makes sense. He's playing chess. Everybody else is playing checkers.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at. I was actually. There's a company that's coming online right now, and they're looking for investors, and I got a message from them the other day. They're gonna gasify coal to make, and we have right here now. I don't know about Wyoming and Montana and them places, but our coal, when it's first mined, has a tremendous amount of gas, and they can make oil out of it, and you can make all kinds of things from coal that people don't realize. But this company is getting ready to do this. Well, I know the Germans had to do that in World War II, but because they had no petrol.
Right.
I mean, but I mean, right now we're sitting on an enormous amount of gas, especially where you're from.
It's not even up to potential. As we touched base before, I talked to Shell, I talked to a bunch of people. It's not where it should be at all. And we'll go back to, regulations, restrictions, and all this other stuff. I mean, it needs redone, reformed. And then, segue again into the Act 13 money. We're getting 25% there, 65% surrounding counties, and 10% out to Philadelphia or wherever it goes. And that's going to be one of my missions, to work with people to try to get an amendment changed for that Act 13 impact money it needs to be more in the green, Washington, the Beaver County, and I don't know how much is in Fayette as far as drilling, but to jumpstart that. I mean, we're getting 100%. Just think about it. We're getting 100% of the impact from this, but 25% of the funds. I don't know. That doesn't add up to me. But they let it go on for so long because they don't know.
One of the things when you get to Harrisburg that you're going to get tired of me. But anyways, one of the things that we have to do is we have to figure out where this hotel tax money is going, especially at the county levels. Why they're saying in Fayette County, they're saying 4% of it stays here. Well, where's the other 96% go? They can't show us where it goes. All we need is receipts, and you're going to see that. You're going to see that.
I've seen it in Washington
over
too.
And over. Washington County's the same way. I mean, why is it only 4% that stays in the county? You'd think it should be the opposite way, 96%, and we should send 4% somewhere else.
We receive no funds from out east. We're not receiving port funds. We're not receiving any of that stuff.
But our taxes go to fund their public transportation.
Yep.
I mean, we fund public transportation here too.
Sure, and they're getting our Act 13 money too.
Yeah.
And it's not right. It's not a fair system, and that's why we need people. The good thing is, I've been researching a lot of the state senators, and there's a lot of them that think like me. Right now they're outnumbered, but they got strong voices, really good. I'm going to tell you, I'll say it again, Dawn Kiefer. She is in line with me on just about everything, and I'm in line with her. And she's really good. She scored 100 with we talked about that the last time.
Yeah,
but she's a good one. There's quite a few of them, and it's just getting the good ones together, caucusing, and trying to get some of these things straightened out. It's doable. Everything is doable because let's face it, what they're doing now is not working. It hasn't been working. It hasn't been working for a decade at all. So change is needed, and I think the people are finally starting to see that status quo is going to change. So, has to.
One of the things I do want to get, I really believe that the people are worried about, not all over the state, and I don't want to say, it's a worry, it's a concern, it's absolute concern, is taxes. Taxes, property taxes, no matter what county you're in, it's an abomination for property owners to pay what they do, and True. I get it. We have to fund the government, but there has to be a better way to do this. We have to look at it. Our forefathers would have been shooting at people by now.
Yeah.
I mean, a long time ago, we would have been.
We're just too bloated. We're too bloated. We talked about this before. We're too bloated. We have too many redundant operations. Here's for instance. You have the DEP, and then you have the Conservation District. Conservation District is an arm of the DEP. Why? They're just out to make money off of you. It's more taxing that they're fining, they're doing this, they're doing that, whatever they can to support themselves, but they're also, funded by us. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of redundancy in there that needs to be eliminated. And, some of these people, they get scared. And the other thing is, like I said, we've had the House here and there, 9 years, 12 years. It hasn't always been predominantly run by the Democrats, and we've had the Senate since 1994. You mean to tell me in those periods of time, you couldn't put enough pressure on the governor in there to make things happen? It's just not right. And then we go into the bureaucracy, and then it all goes corruption.
We
and
had
this
a senator
and that.
tell
it's
us.
Bad.
We had a senator tell us that sits on the PUC board that there was nothing he could do about it. It was the people that were appointed to the board that was the problem. And I'm scratching my head. Well, then, if they're appointed, then we need to get rid of them. We need to put different people in there, because if that's the problem. We have a situation right in Dunbar about a gas line, and no one has come to these people, the people's aid down there.
Right.
And the senator, I mean, he just sat on his hands about the whole thing. But it's time. Yeah. It's time we get people to take a look at these things. And the very thing that they wanted, the people that needed this gas line put in, was willing to pay for, the very thing that they wanted to do. Now they're doing it down the street. Because they have to do it now.
They have to do it.
But instead of just taking,
it's no preemptive. No. Nothing's preemptive here. Everything is wait until it breaks and then hit the taxpayers. Little bits at a time. We talked about it the last time about the square footage and everything, the numbers to take care of, the RAV on buildings. It's just bad. They just don't know business. And that's part of business. Everything we talk about,
But I'll tell you what they do know. They know LSA money. Yeah. They haven't figured. They know that for sure, because that's just they go. That's just when they come up for election, whatever it is. We're going to figure out how we can bribe these people in order to get something done. And usually, what happens is the project doesn't get fulfilled or doesn't get finished, but they put some money in the community and say, look, this is what I've done. But you know what? That LSA money is our money too. I mean, so it's just like bribery trying to get elected again.
The LSA money, and I'm going to really push for this. It needs to be
done.
Done. Here, we'll take the LSA money. But it's going to the taxes, the county taxes.
Yeah.
For everybody in that pool. And drop those taxes down. I think it was, $10.7 million this year or something. Who knows with that? There's discrepancies everywhere. But that's a story for another time. And there's also other things. These grants, I don't like the pay for play and all that other crap. I mean, it's our own money. It's my money, your money, it's everybody's money, and they act like it's theirs. So a lot of that needs redone. It needs reformed. The grant system's a mess. It really is a mess. And if you can eliminate a lot of those grants, I would venture to say that your taxes are going to go down. And again, we'll go back to consolidation of schools with the low census numbers. We're losing, 2.7% of our student population. Each school is. I did a whole matrix on this, and we're down. I think Carmichael-Missouri School District was at 1,200 about 7 years ago. We're at 868.
You lost a third.
Yeah.
No, you lost a quarter. You lost a quarter.
In 7 years.
Yeah, you lost a quarter.
Yeah, and it's a trend. It's not going to stop.
No.
And it's not just that school. It's all the schools. So you want to talk about property taxes, then we go into school taxes. You could merge Jefferson Morgan School District, Carmichael School District, and Mapletown School District and save $8 to $12 million a year. That's almost Mapletown's whole budget. I did all the numbers on it. That is insane. You could do that right now and have almost the population graduating that graduated when I did in 1985.
How many where did you graduate from?
Carmichael's, yeah.
And how many graduated?
130.
130. So we got three school districts in Greene County.
Yeah.
How many school districts?
5.
There's 5 school districts in Greene. Oh dear Lord. There's 5 school districts in Greene County.
Yeah.
And you would still only have 130.
Yep.
30 graduating if you combine.
If you combined all three, it'd be just around 130. That's about what it would be.
Well, I graduated in 1980, so I'm older than you. So, anyways, the year I graduated, it was the class of 1980 was the biggest class that ever attended Connellsville High School. But I don't know if we graduated the biggest class or not. But I think there was 712 or 14 or something like that that started out our sophomore year, because back then you went 10th, 11th, and 12th grade to the high school.
Right.
I'm thinking.
And then the grade system, that's another thing that I really, really want to work on, especially with my time in the education department there. It's, do you want to change
it to 94s and A again?
Yeah. When COVID came around, we're giving these kids a false sense of security when they go to college. And I know so many kids that have to go to summer school. They got to take extra classes because they're not up to the level of some of the different school districts. Now, it's different in different school districts, different economics, different demographics. But, it's the ability's there to do it. And it needs done. It needs to go back. You can't have 26 kids, number one in a class. 26. So, you usually have one valedictorian, salutatorian. It's 26 that are all there. So when I did a study, I pulled every grade. I went through every class for every student. We had, out of 62 kids, 53 had a 3.8 GPA or higher. Mathematically, that's impossible.
Out of 62, 58 of them
53. 3.8 GPA or higher. It's not true. We're actually lying to the kids. We really are.
So when they get to college, depending on what college they go to, then they're at a complete disadvantage.
Disadvantage, and it hurts them. It's not right. It needs fixed. And like I said, that whole changed back when COVID was, and they need to revise it and put it back.
We call it the Chinese plague on
the Chinese plague.
Yeah, they killed 1 million of us, and they never fired a shot.
No.
Yeah, just think about it.
I know.
That's where we're at.
I know. I did want to talk a little bit about the death tax.
Go ahead.
That's a big thing for me now.
Well, it is, because with my background in the farming and things like that, and the people that, and of course, when people inherit property, it causes grief for these people.
It does,
because they're at the funeral home and they just lost somebody. But the next thing on their plate is how am I going to keep Dad's farm?
I know. You're paying for a funeral, 10, 12 grand, 15 grand. Then you're going to come up with, 50 grand just to pay for everything else and the taxes, and they don't wait. So, I had some uneducated people. They were saying, it's for the rich, and it's no, it's the common people that get it. It's the poverty-stricken people get it. The farmers. I mean, there's so many people that they don't have that kind of money laying around, to pay the taxes. So here's my theory on that. They don't want you to pay taxes. They want you to default on it. They're either taking it over, especially if you have gas and oil on it. There's a lot of it's you start thinking about this. There's a lot of things that, and I don't like sneakiness. I don't like sneaky people. That's for sure. But whenever somebody questions me when I come out with something, they need to do research before they open their mouth because they have no clue. I do this stuff for a living. I debate and contract negotiate, and I love it.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you want to provide your customer with the best product you possibly can for the most reasonable amount of money.
Yeah,
and that's something, and I don't think people realize how much labor affects this. And of course, you've already touched on this. The health insurance part of things. Oh, jeez. I know right now that our president's trying to do everything he can to rectify the problems with the healthcare system. He's trying to take care of the.
Worst thing ever, Obamacare. It was the worst thing ever. Bush had the no Child Left Behind. Obama had that, and obviously we said before, Bill Clinton had Monica. So they all have something bad, and it is what it is. But you have to see the pros and cons. What have they done that's good? And we look at Biden. There's nothing good. He has to go down in history as the worst president ever. As far back as I remember Nixon, even with the impeachments and everything, I can't find anybody that was worse than Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, you touched on something that really struck a nerve with me, but you just saying about Kamala Harris. I mean, it seems like that's what the Republican Party's trying to do now. They're trying to pick the people that they want to stay in office.
Oh, yeah.
And we know for a fact over the last couple statewide races that if they didn't get their way, they just abandoned them people. I felt you feel bad for these people.
Yeah.
You win a primary, and then the only thing you can do is the worst thing you can do is go along with the Republicans, the state GOP, because if they didn't pick you, they're not going to give you no money, and they're going to do everything they can to keep you from getting elected.
Well, here's my take on that. So the Republicans threw such a fit when Joe Biden dropped out, and the Democrats didn't have a primary. Okay, they didn't have a primary. They put Kamala Harris in there. They were all endorsing her. That's what we have now in our party. So you want to talk about hypocrites? We're hypocrites too. And I don't care which side it is. When I see something bad, I'm going to call it out. That's just the way I am. And my filter's a little bit off, and I will call them out because it makes us no better than them. Now they can say, well, you guys are endorsing this person a year before anybody even has a chance to run. It's no good. So good. There's not enough investigation done, and some of the people that are endorsing this person, they might have a lot of baggage with them, which we're seeing now. And I mean, they just don't know politics. Everything to me is business. It really is. And we do a lot of planning, investigating. There's a lot of things that go into that should be going into the political runs from the parties. But they got to keep them in there as long as they can.
Well, yeah, because what happens is that they'll cowtail to whatever.
Yep.
whatever's happening at the state level, because they want to make sure they get the grant. They want not grant money. They want to make sure they get the money from all the PACs that they can.
Yeah.
So they keep them in
For sure.
office.
For sure.
And let's face it, it takes a lot of money to run for office.
A lot of money.
I don't know what your anticipated budget is, and you probably don't actually know what your anticipated budget's going to end up being. But if you're in business, I guarantee you're within. I bet you're within $10,000 already. What you're figuring.
I know exactly where I'm going to be at. I know where I'm at now. I have good people, and that's another thing. I surround myself with good people. Most of my guys that work for me, they've been with me for 38 years. 38 years is a long time to be with somebody in construction. It really is. I mean, that's like unheard of. And it's because of the way we do things. And it's not, you don't have to be a total disciplinarian, but, you just have to guide them. You have to lead them. Same goes for politics. We're not being led. There's a Republican committeeman in Waynesburg. Well, she does what we ask her when we ask her. No, you shouldn't have to ask her. It should be already done. I mean, I have so many policies written, and I have so many plans written right now, and we're going to start releasing them next week. We're going to release some really, really good plans. Working on one right now, and I think this is going to be a really fantastic one, so you're going to hear it here first. It's going to be First Responders Bill. And what it's going to be is going towards, we want to get the youth in there. We're having trouble with our attendance and with the numbers. So in the volunteer sector, the hired fire departments, they're good. But the volunteer sector, it's not just for them. It's going to be for the state troopers and everybody else. I want to implement the college credit plan where they would get so much money after. It'd be just similar to the GI Bill. You go in, you work 4 years, you accumulate so much money towards your college education. And there's going to be a lot of different nuances to it. We're still working on it now. I have a wonderful person now. She runs all my stuff, Rita, and she's been helping me with it. I'm not opposed to help. My team at work, I have Charlotte and Jody and everybody else, we always talk. We always figure out the best avenue. We look at things in three. We look at 3 different ways to do something. And if you do that, you're going to come up with the best option. You really will. You really will. So there's a lot of plans coming up. That one is going to be a big one. I'll be releasing obviously the 10th grade apprenticeship one in full. I'll be releasing the taxes, elimination of taxes. I'm going to piggyback on some of the stuff that Senator Kiefer has done as far as her property or school tax elimination. I think it'll work. My opponent does not. So I think that it will work. How do you know it won't work? It's never been tried before. Something's got to be better than where we're at right now.
Absolutely. And I always got, that's one of the things that I really upsets me more than anything when somebody says, I call it the Sally method. It's the same as last year. But you think about it. If you don't try nothing different, then how do you know that it won't work?
Exactly.
I mean, it's better to have to fix something than to do nothing.
You know who says that? The people that can't come up with the ideas. That's who says that.
And you think about all these things. The guy that's standing behind me right now, I guarantee you his mind's working. If you talk to him, he might be talking to you about the auto industry, but he's already thinking about something else down the road. I mean, that's how you are in business. That's how you have to be. I mean,
I diversify.
I mean, they're worried about changing oil in your delivery trucks. But you're already thinking about when do I need tires?
Yeah.
Or do I have to hire 2 more drivers to get something done.
I wish that it was back when we were really booming. I mean, when the oil and gas really started, because that was a good time for everybody, and they didn't capitalize on it, just like the coal mines. Let them run, let them run. Well, you have to diversify. What are you getting out of that? It's just, I mean, I went through South Point yesterday. I had lunch up there, and half of those buildings up there are empty. That's bizarre.
I haven't been to South Point for 3 years. Well, I've been by it, but I haven't been actually in South Point. But you know what? At one time, it was like its own city.
Yep.
I mean, it really was. I mean, I think they even had a movie theater in there at one time.
Yeah, it's nice, but there's a lot of vacancies there. And, if you own a building, I mean, your bank wants you to be at 76% occupancy. 66 to 70%. I know a lot of those buildings, they're not. There's no way they are. So there's some things that need changed, and I'm going to be spending a lot of time up there talking with some of the ownership of some of those buildings. We built a lot of those buildings up in there. So that's where that's at. And
well, I'll tell you what we need to do. We need to get some contact information from you.
Yep, we're doing, let's see, the Gmail account is buckton4pa@gmail.com. And then the website is buckton4pa.com. And there's phone numbers on there, and somebody will get back to you. More than likely, it's me. I answer every phone. I just take care of everything. So.
Well, believe it or not, we got to tie this one down.
Holy crap, that went fast.
It went really fast, didn't it?
Yeah,
and I appreciate you. I really do. And we're going to get you back on many more times before this is over with. And we're going to get you on a trip to Harrisburg.
Well, I appreciate that.
So, let's close up. On this road called life, you have to take the good with the bad, smile with the sad, love what you got, and remember what you had. Always forgive, but never forget. People change. Things go wrong, but just remember the ride goes on. God bless each and every one of you, and God bless the United States of America. And I am Jon Marietta, and I am the Hillbilly.
And this is your local station, WMBS Uniontown.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Stacey Lynn. New surveillance videos out showing a masked person on Nancy Guthrie's front porch the day she went missing. CBS's Cammie McCormick with details.
The images show a masked person wearing a backpack, gloves, a zipped up jacket, and ski mask. The person approaches the front door,